There, we're on air here.
We got some fans out there, I'm hoping. We got a lot of advertisements. Sorry for the delay, guys, but
Oh,
we had a couple
yeah.
things going on this morning.
Explain it, brother. Explain it.
Hey, it's all good. And that's what brings golf together. It brings the smash. We were at a golf course this morning, not playing golf, but picking up some apparel. And
Apparel. More than that, man.
I'm trying to keep it soft. Yeah. Keep it soft, just in case the Smashettes are listening.
Yeah, well, you're going to hear him in the background, that's for sure. And we're out here in the southern office, and a little bit of a makeshift thing. Camera isn't going to be. I'm going to be a little bit cloudy if you're watching in while.
I'll take the hit. Make me cloudy. I like to be in the clouds, Smash Brother.
Yeah.
It's always good in the clouds.
Always good in the clouds. And we're also live.
Isn't there an iCloud out there? Maybe I could see it up there.
We should be live on the 302.fm if you're tuning in on the radio. We appreciate everything. And of course, we're here live at Facebook. We are, like my brother says, about 2 hours behind schedule, only because of me personally. I had left a very valuable possession in the golf cart yesterday. And we had to go retrieve it early this morning. So we had to take an early morning road trip back down to Glen Riddle. Unfortunately, the good folks there did have it was my wallet.
Big shout out to Glen Riddle for their honesty.
Yep.
Great people in Glen Riddle. That's one of the most special places, I think, in America. You know, think about it. You know, with Seabiscuit and Man of War, and then War Admiral into the mix. But those two great courses, great history.
Oh, it was a great course.
Good people,
great day.
good
Great
people.
day to be out for golfing. Winds were a little humid, but temperature was low. I'd say, low. It was about 82.
Yeah, we played that yesterday.
Yeah, we played that yesterday, and we shot well.
Oh, man.
I think we came to the table. You know,
From our last round at Delcastle, it was funny. Yeah, we both shot a 101 at Delcastle about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And then Smash Brother and I shot a 94, 95. Few breaks here and there, not too shabby. Franny, if you're listening, I know you're you always get a big kick out of the foot wedge and the one mulligan you get each nine. So, but anyways, you got to have something on them courses, Smash Brother.
Oh,
you got to
doubt.
get some breaks, man.
Without a
The Admiral is a great course, man.
War Admiral.
War Admiral
I really enjoyed that.
That's a challenge.
I think it's a challenge,
Major.
but it's still fair. I did lose one ball. One ball is all I lost. It was
Yeah.
on that one hole, right? And
Yeah.
it was on the par three. Shanked it pretty good. Didn't go after it, so I call that an official loss. And from that point on, we were still playing really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Some good putting, good chipping.
Oh, your putting was you guys were putting really good.
Yeah.
I was like I left four out there that it was really very noticeable. I did, and that's four shots. That's four strokes.
Yeah, I know.
I gave up.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. That gets you down from a 95 to a 90, or 94 to an 89. I mean, it's
It's rough.
it was rough out there.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you're not challenged, guess what happens?
Get lazy.
Get lazy. You say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can play these easy courses," but can't
Can't
say
do that.
nothing about it. Like I said, those good folks down there had Smash Brothers wild all safe and secured, and we got a good breakfast. Thank you again for breakfast. It was delicious. Long neck diner.
Man,
Oh,
it's
my
a
God.
staple down here.
It's amazing.
They-
Great chow.
food.
Great chow.
Yeah, they do.
So
Great chow.
you got a lot of referrals, and we've been 3 minutes into the show. Don't forget about supporting all these good businesses in Sussex County.
That's right.
Nicknamed, or should not be a nickname, should be said God's County. People are happy here. Like I said last night at the bar, there ain't no people hate America down here, man.
No. Speaking of the bar, it's Dockside.
Dockside was
that's
great.
your fourth referral.
Oh yeah, man.
Dockside bar right there.
Give a
The inlet.
shout out to my niece Chloe,
Chloe, yeah.
and the staff there. Chloe
Yeah.
did a great job. Thank you for all the, good seeing you, and the hospitality there, the band, the music. How about Charlie and the
Charlie
Fine-
and the Cool Tunes.
and the Cool Tunes? What a band that is!
Tones, Cool Tones.
Cool Tones.
Right.
I mean, they're phenomenal. Just
Yeah.
great musicians, great people, just out there putting smile on people's faces, man.
That's true. And
Oh,
I
man,
put a couple
great.
clips up there on Facebook last night, just one or two, maybe one, shows the band, but they were playing everything from Allman Brothers to
Did back to back with the Almonds, Melissa
Bruno
and
Mars.
Will.i.am. Oh
Yeah,
man, they did
Bruno
a Bruno
Mars.
Mars. I
They
know.
They did some Bruno.
Yeah, they got the place shaking with
Crowds
Bruno.
rocking. Crowds were rocking.
Great times in there, man. We were like celebrities in there, weren't we, Smash Brother? I kid you not. Everywhere we turned, there was like action. We knew this person, that person came in, met others.
Yeah.
It was just beyond belief. We helped out someone getting ready to move from Delaware. We met. She's in the healthcare field. So she doesn't know she's leaving from Lancaster or going to commute or whatever. So we made a nice connection there, and I'm forwarding her Michael's contact information because he's a realtor and everything else like that. Just great host of people, man. It was just
I was talking to her
awesome.
about actually Medicare Advantage from Blue Cross Blue Shield. I said, "Are you bringing that back?" And she's, "Well, it's really expensive to run." I go, "I understand that. We'll charge accordingly." You know, I miss that personally. If you're on Medicare and you got Medicare Advantage, I thought that Blue Cross Blue Shield was like the best. The best that I had. It was like
that's a staple name in insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's just a staple name.
Right,
you know,
right.
If you think United Healthcare, what do you think of? I don't know. You think maybe a slain executive that never died, and it's sad. It's so sad.
That's exactly what I think when I hear that.
That's what you think. You know, I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's that's what I'm saying. The way of the world, man. What else these people? Whatever. We'll get to that. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
We're going to get. Believe me, fans out there, we're going to get into this stuff a little later. But we got to talk about the pleasantry things first. That's what the smash. Because we
open up with a bit of golf.
Yeah, golf trips. Smash Brothers just in Ireland. Come on, man. Big time.
You
golf.
were in Alaska.
I was in Alaska with Seattle. Go down to Coast Starlight on our Amtrak's beautiful scenery train. You got to take that from Seattle or LA to LA or to Seattle. Either way, it's just a beautiful ride. And there's nothing like being on the West Coast, man. All that beauty. God, this land is beautiful. Beautiful. So good, and fresh air and wild nature, and it's awesome. Seeing the deer and the elk.
You get into that, and there's been with the World Cup a lot of the Europeans are coming over for the first time, and they're like, "Wow, I never knew America was so freaking awesome."
Yeah,
because they get polluted with all the rancid news that's delivered over there about the U.S. You know,
right?
They don't get to see the beauty of it all, and then they come over, experience it, and they're like, "Hey, Jamie, Christmas, man, this is like total opposite. And I want to move here."
You know, I'd be remiss without having a moment of silence, Smash Brother, for what happened over in Seattle right after the World Cup, down there right around the Space Needle, that park right there where that last mass shooting was. We were there 2 weeks before that, or I should say 10 days before that. My wife's family and I and everything. So. Little moment of silence, man. I was chilling, man, to see that all happen in a great town like Seattle. So a little moment of silence for those people out there. May God lift your spirits.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, all the people that have lost their lives from all kinds of stuff like that, you know.
Oh, we had it. Yeah, we had it. You're right. We just had the dignified transfer of the soldiers that were killed in Iran conflict.
Yeah.
That was I watched it on TV. I stood the entire time. So that's right up the road here in Dover, and you go through Dover Air Force Base, and they have that painted on the bridge. All gave some. Some gave all.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And that's it. Yep. And it's honorable nation that we live in, and men and women are willing to die, put their lives out there for freedom. And then you have these other people that want to talk about all this other stuff. It's coming, man. I'm telling you, Smash Brother, there's not too many people going to tolerate this anymore. It is. It's going to happen in the voter's box, or it's going to happen in the street. One or the other, buddy. It's happening. Either way, I don't care. Nobody is going to live with this kind of messages on TV, infiltrating kids and all this. This ain't America, and it's nothing apart America.
Right.
And like I said before, these Democrats have kidnapped some establishment. These ludicrous people took over a party, and we're good. We're good people here in Sussex County, and you know what? We need people like here in Tennessee and all the great states,
Good
Florida.
people all over.
It is. But there's coming slop holes around this nation. That's what I'm going to call them. You got to get down dirty with these people, bro. That's all they know. Yeah. You know how you got to bring Iran down to their knees so they can negotiate? Well, this is what's going to happen. Look, you can see it right in front of you, man. You don't have to be, we're going to speak about, because we spoke about this a year and a half ago, the Smash Brother and I. Well, and that's all you hear about on TV, right? Yeah. The communists, the party being taken over. I've been challenged in a court case now for 7, 8 months that how can this go on? I don't know. I don't have the means to get lawyers. But if you're a Democrat and you want to stand up, put your party money to get these people out of your party. Kick them out.
Yeah, I don't. That's one thing that I will completely never understand is, well, I understand it because it's a power trip. And, you're going the old school Democrats are not going to challenge these socialists because there's money involved. There's got to be a funnel of money that says, hey, you keep your mouth shut, and we want this new breed to come through, and you can enjoy some of the fruits of what we bring in. I have not seen a shift change. You've got the head of the Democratic Party, Schumer, who is staying put in New York. He's not coming out. He's saying our common goal is to beat beat the Republicans back in the next election. Well, hey, that's all good, but you're letting a level of government or ideology come into the party, which is taking you further back. What do you think that people are going to do with the polls? You think that they're going to outnumber the traditionalists? I mean, you'll have Democrats, true hardcore old school Democrat, flip just to keep that element out.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
And you could see they had the media line. You talked about the fans that came all over this world, from the world, to come to America, support their football, which we call it soccer in America. And they come in here and they drank their beers. They made friends with the people at the bars, at the stadiums, the American spirit, the American beauty. Yeah. And they say, man, and because you have to understand this is a brainwashing method going on out here for people that are lost. And I get it. We Smash Brothers understand that people are out there lost. That's why you're looking for something like this, because you just don't have the history. You don't understand. You might not even be educated. And I don't mean that into a bad thing. But when somebody wants to say you get something free for everything instead of earning it, then they're not an American. They're not. That comes that simple, because we want things. Now, there's a difference between social programs that help people along the way, and in the capitalistic society that takes care of many different functions that don't sometimes level up, and people need help. And we have this through charitable actions, through donations, through nonprofit groups. Hell, we have a ton of nonprofit groups. Like my father always said, if you're down and out and you got to get back on your feet or something happens, there's no other country better than America, because you can pick yourself up by the bootstrap. You could take a punch, get knocked down, and then there's going to be come back. And that's what we want. That's the American story, victory, overcoming tragedy, overcoming challenges, overcoming. That's the American dream, American story. So we live that way in our lives, right? We help people out in everybody's means.
It's like overcoming a bad golf swing.
Overcoming a bad whatever.
or bad chip or bad putt. We're going to keep golfing.
You're going to keep golfing. You're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing it. But these people here want to take that away from us, man. They want. And I'm so glad that there's other news networks instead of the far right networks, and they have their propaganda. I get it, all that, and that's the way it is, like you said. But this is meat and potatoes. We have the meat is our way of life, and the potatoes, they want to overcome the meat because they think they're greater. Well, potatoes go with the meat. It's good, but that's not the meat part. So these people are potatoes right now, and I look at them as small potatoes, but they're growing. And they're nasty, nasty people. Look at that lady that got on that show, and thank God there's people going interviewing. And I give her credit, all fair due. She was probably one of the most honest persons ever to sit down with somebody, whoever interviewed her. I can't remember.
I'll tell you exactly what the platform is all about.
And say what the platform's all about. Yeah. I don't even remember her name, the assistant DSA of the DSA. And she sat there Okay, I give her credit for that. We'll give out props for doing that. But the things that
She
she
said,
said,
oh,
so we learned that through education. That was her there. That was her words from the questions she was asked and gave an honest answer. And guess what? That needs to be reviewed, replayed, whatever, to let you know what people want to do to this country.
yeah,
Okay, and
they
that's
want to
just
get
the
rid of.
start.
They want to get rid of all levels of government, right?
All level government.
They want election. What was it? Elections by committee.
Yes.
So you can handpick or appoint a leader, which this is ridiculous.
That's stacked by open borders from people coming all over the
talk about-
world,
and
then they get their more free stuff than
Don't
the
get
Americans.
me started on that, man.
Well,
'cause
I know you are.
You're seeing what's
going on
happening
in
in
Spain.
Europe and
Yeah,
Spain,
Spain,
just
yep.
and Morocco
I
and
know.
all those. And I'll tell you, man, over the course of the last couple of months, whenever you talk about things, Facebook's going to pick it up and they're going to feed your reel with all kinds of stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I thought half the reels I was seeing were phony. Were like AI generated.
Okay.
And they're not. They're real. And what a couple of social journalists, meaning that these are people on the street and they're doing their own thing, like a Nick Shirley type thing over in Europe, and they're putting these feeds up about what's going on, like all these invasions and these people who are disregarding life and safety, and they're blatantly just robbing people and assaulting people because there's no oversight. The police won't do nothing. And in Europe, well, you can't have a gun in Europe, so you can't protect yourself if someone's trying to punch your face in, and you got to just walk away because you're the one that could get arrested for assault. And these people coming in, these migrants, are given carte blanche.
Yeah.
And there's no accountability for anybody. They just come in with whatever means they can, and like right now they're robbing food stores because they're starving, and they're breaking into places for shelter. So imagine you as a homeowner, in the streets of Spain, wherever these Cuerta, Spain,
Yes.
and
Very
all of a
well
sudden,
said.
and then all of a sudden your home's invaded for food and shelter, and you're getting assaulted. And you can't do nothing about it.
Nothing about.
Because these migrants now have European rights, means that they can, and it's what they do. They'll come across the border, they'll find one invasion point, and they're all young men. I haven't seen any kids or women, not like that. It's all young men.
It's insane. They
Yeah.
have nothing.
Right.
They had what? So they come here with nothing. So what are they going to do? They're going to loot and pillage.
Yeah.
And rob and steal. And hurt people that are just living their lives. So you take that, and then you have somebody on TV, national TV, saying, yes, we want no borders in this country. Well,
They're
without
insane.
borders, you don't have a nation.
You don't.
And they don't want a nation because they want this to be a control of people, take over businesses. You have a beautiful business here. Beautiful. Somebody's going to come in here and say, and now under the new program of government communism and everything, Buckley's Auto Care goes down to us. We own it.
Yeah. You're automatically my 50% partner.
Yeah, automatically. I mean, are you kidding?
That's total bullshit because I would never give that.
No, nobody's going to do it. No, it'll never get to that. But what we're talking about is that this ideology and this method. It's like when you're a child and you have your mom and dad and you do something stupid, right? In our days, they gave us a whack or this or that. Okay, you don't do it again. Well, they're doing stupid stuff. We're a nation. We don't accept this as a nation. Nobody accepts this. There's a small percentage of it, and they're growing in numbers, so they say. But we need to address it and let them know and stop it in a court proceedings for what they are doing in these parties that are established. We cannot support communism because the government is democracy. So they committed a crime. They're telling you they're socialists. They're saying they're half communists. They're dressing up like communist leaders, like that one dude dressed up like this old emperor in China. What they're doing is illegal activity. So it's as a point. You look in the Constitution of America. The government can be changed. The forefathers have vision. Hey, this doesn't work. But what it has to do, it has to pass the House, the representatives, legislative, 2/3, signing law by the president, the executive branch, and then going back to the states for all the governors to ratify, and everything has to 2/3. Well, nobody's having that. But that's how you change government in this nation under the Constitution. These people did not do that. They kidnapped, hijacked, whatever you want to call it, a solid party in a democracy system, took it over, and then claimed they're communists and socialists. They're doing criminal activity.
But the Democratic Party's not even trying to get them out of their own party. How do you get an invader out of here? It's like a person who what do you call them? People that take over houses. Squatters. Squatters. You got squatters in the party. And,
yes, that's a good way of looking at it. You got squatters that with evil intentions. Very good. It's SB1. See, that's why he's SB1. That's what these people are. Nobody's called them squatters in a political party.
Go. They're squatters.
You heard it first live here from SB1.
Right.
They came in squatter and they want to take over.
Right.
And there's only a few mavericks out there that are helping out. And that Mr. John Fetterman, what a great person, human being. He is, because it doesn't matter his affiliation list. Like me, a Democrat, doesn't matter. What it matters is that these people have taken over something that one party's concept and the Republican Party. That's why you debate. That's why you go to the House. That's why you go to the Senate. That's why you have campaigns, election. But at the end of the day, we shake hands. We shake hands and we move forward, and we go forward because that's it. These people don't want that. No. They took over the Democratic Party. They squatted. They came in, and now they said, "Hey, Hakeem Jeffries." Mr. Schumer, Miss AOC, who
Mondani.
else? Whatever. Well, Mondani, I think, is in conflict with all these people. I don't really know the whole dynamic, but he's trying to rise out there. But what I'm saying is these people are playing for keeps because they want to say, hey, you are getting free everything. You're going to get housing. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. And then you white people, like that lady up in New York said, you have to start understanding how you got to feel different about your What is
you don't
that?
Feel different
like the black people don't own property.
Yeah.
Like Asians don't own property. Like people that worked hard, came up from nothing, don't own property. Why would you talk so little of somebody owning property? Because you are a minus soul. You don't have a soul.
They're just stupid.
They don't have stupid. All they want to do is, dumb. They're dumb. If they don't understand, people work hard in this country, and they want to stifle that to give free stuff to people that may need help, that may need to be a part in some some new directions, some life changing, something that's going to put them back in society. Yeah. Right now, there's 11 million people that are able to work that are not working, and I want to know why. And you know what? Let's get a hold of the author of all this crap, Dr. Anthony Fauci. The sick man himself.
Head of the snake?
Head of the snake, because he started this ideology, whether you want to believe it or not, with all his lies and everything.
I'm going to tell you, he definitely opened the door.
He opened the door. And he's a connected man to something. And how I treat that guy, you remember the Goodfellas when they had that guy on the table and they were squeezing his head? And Joe Pesci said, give his name up, give his name up. And he wouldn't do it. And then he popped his eyeball and he gave his name up. And Joe Tom, whatever role he was playing, goes, "You made me pop your eyeball out for that guy. You wouldn't give him up. He's a scumbag." And he said, "Just put a bullet in his head to ease his pain." Well, think about it. How could Fauci do this without some type of top level? Think about it.
I gave my comments on a couple of posts, and of course, a lot of people that came back to counter me, even though I said, I don't give a shit what you tell me about anybody else doing anything else in politics. I don't care. There's no saints in politics. There's no saints. And I said, focus on what this guy did and what his reasons were. I said, the media made him a darling, which made him indefensible. And he was risen to a level that he should have never had. He had influence that he should never have had. He made decisions that were absolutely put into law with no oversight whatsoever. The man ruined world economies. He created an inflationary period. All of this was festering. All this became real because of his actions during COVID. And what did they do? So here is my thing on the whole COVID situation. So President Obama authorized the grants to get Fauci into the Wuhan laboratory to do experiments on gain of function. They're finding out how we can create this biological warfare or counter it if need be. So that experiment went into China. Like, China is, where do you think things are going to be safe at? Here or there? So they say that it actually started in Carolina and then it went over to Wuhan. All right. No, fine. Well, it escapes. So all of a sudden, the government goes, well, we're going to panic. And then we're coming into the Trump era. And so Trump starts saying, well, Fauci, what do we do? He kind of had a belief in and adoration for him. He admired, right? He didn't know. He didn't know Fauci at that, the whole thing. So sure. He said, yeah, okay. So he pimps him up a little bit too. There's a couple interviews out there saying, hey, yeah, fellow New Yorker, guy's tough, blah, blah, blah. But what happened was the government started shutting down churches, but allowed you to shop at Walmart. People couldn't see their loved ones in a hospital.
Dying. Let's not forget about
but
that.
But they could go
all
shopping.
These people that died.
Right.
So sad.
It really was. Not only that, then the government started shutting down restaurants. Well, and I couldn't say federal governments. It was all the states, because Fauci being he didn't say shut them down in a sense, but the states went ahead and said, well, we got to follow these rules. We can't have, and they went on a tirade of the most liberal, government-controlled. And you want socialism? Just go back and
that was it.
That was it right there. That was it. 100%.
What did the Attorney General at the time say? Barr said it was the most time since America was founded that civil liberties were taken away.
Taken away.
That's
completely.
the most truest statement in COVID, right there.
Completely. Even during the Black Plague, I don't think it was that severe, right? People perished, there's no question. But then what the government did was, we're going to shut you down, so we're going to give you money. And that's where the PPP came in, or PPP, it was what it was, Payroll Protection Plan, and the idle loans. So the government is giving you cheap money, right? It should be zero, but they charge you 2%. So it's a bombs and butter. I'm going to screw you up. I'm going to shut your business down. There's the bomb. Here's the butter. You can get an easy to pay back loan, which turned into a multi-billion-dollar scam, because anybody who was anybody would go ahead and put up. You could fake a business. You could claim your money and all that stuff, and look what it did. It put more money into the economy, which gives us the inflationary stuff that we have, which makes things more expensive. Everybody's on a sugar high for about a year, right?
That was a little longer than that. They extended them programs and
you're right. They did.
Unemployment, 600 on top the state.
Thousands of dollars in your pocket, checks from the government. But everybody was going, let's go.
Everybody needed something. But that all did not happen. That's the point we're not making is that we understand people had their plates. We understand that there was suffering. We understand that there was no, because there was an evil person shutting everything down. See, that's what happened, and it started this mentality that you're going to get stuff free and this and that. But here's a sickening part of this. So if you follow the history, and it's all going to be proven, there's not a doubt in my mind. So when that virus that they were dealing with versus, I guess, controlling an SR virus, a SARS virus, and then they moved it into a chemical warfare, they knew, or Fauci knew, when this thing leaked out of the lab, he had enough information, enough knowledge, enough pre-hand information to say this virus was made for a wartime purpose. I know what it's attacking. I know how to beat it. He clammed up. He did all his cover-up deeds. He filled his pocket. That's why he wrote it in the diary, because his mindset, he knew what he was doing. He had a good-evil conflict, because if there was anything good about the man, okay, then he would have just went out and did his business and cared about people and told you that he knew, because that's why we were all saying it was killing a certain amount of people with these type of makeup in their bodies, but they would never put that information out. You had to be like a scientist through all this. And we were. Great people sat around tables because we're trying to figure out. We knew back then, even for the first time, it didn't make sense. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wear 2 masks, 3 foot, 6 foot, 9 foot, stay indoors. Quarantine. My family was one of the first families that all had COVID at the same time. We all had to wear a mask inside the house. Why? If you have a flu, you live together and get through it. But we did it. And then I just started saying, this doesn't make sense. None of it. And we all agreed with it. And then we had to go through public health to get clearances. I remember being so scared because they say, well, you get pulled over, you don't have your letter to keep with you to say you've been cleared by public health. You could be in society. I mean, this is what was going on. This man was the author of this. He put everybody. That's why he did the most diabolical thing to our nation. And they want to compare Donald Trump to all these bad people. That's why they're sick. They don't understand the facts. We're just trying to help you out here as two people who live life, growing up with nothing, made something of themselves, understand right from wrong, and understand when somebody's trying to hurt you. And we want to stop it because we love America. I don't even know you, and I don't want you to vote for these people. Think that these people are trying to do something. Everything got changed because of that man, our ideology. To get free stuff, do nothing because you're suffering from something or you're being hurt. They did that because he covered up the biggest scandal ever to hit America about a germ warfare chemical that leaked out in Wuhan. Okay? Go back to October 2019. That's what you have to look at. When the Army left Wuhan lab, October 2019, they were ordered to pack up, go. Why? Nobody knew. But think about people that were getting sick for no reason in November of 2009 or 2019. December, one of our neighbors, she was laid up in bed for almost 2 weeks, perfectly fine. She got hit with something. People were talking about it at work. Nobody knew. And then in January, we started hearing about this. And then they wanted you to believe some bat bit of chicken that got whacked at a live market, and the juices got on somebody. The first person in America with COVID, known COVID, lived upstate Washington somewhere. Had isolation for 20 years.
Yeah.
So think about all this. We were fed lies.
Total
lies.
I mean, it was bullshit.
And exactly. And people wanted to do good, so they were listening to that man because that's what Americans do. So we were confronted with something, and we trusted somebody that was going to lease. But then they start saying all this weird shit and say, is this guy right? And then everybody started doubting him. And then you controlled everything and controlled your holidays and controlled your meals, controlled the wedding venues, everything. Yeah. And he would go back in his diary at night on government time, government equipment, and
write everything
the opposite. Think about that, people, that you believe this. Look, I get you're all mixed up, and I get there's a lot of things that you've been bombarded with, and I'm speaking to you white people. But young white men especially, listen to me out there, okay? Listen to James Carville, right? He said, you're all nothing but because you were dictated that, okay? You became a product of this. This is not who you are, okay? This is what you have become because you've been led by something like that. So stand up, take a hold of your lives, and say, I'm not going to be a white turd. Just do it. And do it. And give hell to the people that you know about that are doing this and get them out of this fire. You can only police yourselves. We're just here giving you some straight talk to say, this has to end. You have to end. You have to have different things. You have to think about making money. You have to think of maybe having a family. You have to think about being productive people in society, a good steward. You're young. You're this. You're that. And that's why I'm speaking to that, because they are controlling. Black people are not getting involved in this movement. Asians aren't getting involved in this movement. Okay? Spanish, the Puerto Rican communities, they're not getting involved in this movement. So that's why I'm speaking out like this, because they can only do it through numbers. So you are giving them the numbers. You are falling into this trap. And I don't want you to fall in this trap. I want you to have great lives, have family, love this beauty and the sweetness of this nation. Get away from these people. Only you can collapse that party. Okay? So stay away from them.
It's kind of over the past decades, and
Sad.
we've not given up. We've misdirected a lot of our youth
Absolutely.
through programs of quote unquote higher education, which turns out that it was really just a lot of it was propaganda. With higher education, does that mean that I want to study how frogs mate in some freaking wild country? Is there a job description for that on Indeed? Does a corporation hire a frog mating specialist?
No, that's only to teach you science to get your man.
They hire mechanics, electricians, tradesmen. But they'll do all that, right? But they're not going to hire somebody who knows how to mate frogs in some kind of country.
Smash Brother, I'm just thinking here somewhere right now that, and I get it. You just said it right. There are people that are lost. There are people that need direction. There are people that need to be, like some type of growing pains that they didn't have because maybe they were silver spoon because their life was shut down. So everybody got huddled up and said, okay, man, we're sorry about this. So you got to do this. They were isolated because the teachers unions, they took it out to another level. Well, they were shutting down schools for months. Shutdowns were over, but they were making excuses and everybody was able to say, okay, we don't want to get anybody sick. I get it. Nobody wants to hurt anybody. But they lied. Fauci lied so we didn't have the right direction. That's all. Just like they're lying. The communists are lying, like Mandami. Yeah, I applaud those people that don't want him part of that 25th anniversary of 9/11, that horrible day that happened to these Americans, our American friends that were in these buildings, foreigners that were in these buildings, all those folks that died and everything. This guy stood on the steps with a Koran in his hand. These people came in with vengeance and hatred to America, all in the name of the Koran. And you know what? That guy should not be the mayor. He should not have any place in society other than being a communist somewhere in his own life and try and give his own people free stuff.
Tell him to
or
go
whatever.
to another country.
Go to another country. Go back
there,
to where your second home is. Don't you have a second home in another country?
Something
like that. Go there and do your stuff. Why do you want to act this way? Because you're young and you can brainwash more young. Well, we're the Smash Brothers going to be the antidote for these people. You don't need no jab. You just need to open up your ears, listen to two guys that want to help you. Want to bring something in your life other than having Madami saying, oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to give you a home, or you're going to get a free bus ticket, or I just opened up some government food stores. What the hell's that?
Oh, it's a $70 million debacle.
What is that?
Waiting for the taxpayers of New York to pay for this experiment where he thinks he can give away a 30% discount on everything. Not only does he destroy, it's not mathematically stable over the course of of a business life. You can't run your way to profit. You can't discount your way to profit, as they say. But the biggest thing is what he does in the interim is that he destroys the economic fabric of the bodegas and the small mom and pop stores that support the community. And yes, they have to make money. Why? Because they have to pay people to help run their business, or they work 24/7, which is a common thing. You can see in any kind of convenience store, and you see the type of people that are working. They are there because that's their life. That is how they're sustaining their families. That's how they're making their money. When the government comes in and says, I'm going to discount things that you sell for 30% less, and you can't do nothing about it, they are literally putting you out of business. And that control goes to the government. And the government then says, well, hey, you know what? I'm running this operation. I got to pay for it somehow. I can't, the 30% I'm giving to you, I got to make it up somehow. What do they do? Taxes. They come out of your pockets. You don't win.
And then all the rich people are leaving, the business people leaving. So you'll have no jobs to go to work. You'll have no place to live because there won't be anything to support that.
Right. There's no new housing, no new nothing.
So I'm going to give you a little experiment. So my son played professional baseball in the Pioneer League for the Colorado Rocky Mountain Springs. They played at UC Health Field, okay, in the Springs, Colorado. It was a beautiful AAA Milwaukee Brewers ballpark, okay? It was absolutely immaculate. Then they made a change. UC Health Field, the Vibes were no longer in business. Everything was abandoned. Go and look at that stadium now.
Was that his? Was that the same he played?
Yeah.
He put that post up, and I go,
Yeah.
wow, is this an example, or is this where he used to play?
That's where he used to play.
That was sad.
It was.
That was sad. Very
So
sad.
a beautiful field, all overgrown, everything discombobulated, worn down, everything, the paint, in that short of a time.
Yeah.
Chipped. The infield, all overgrown. Okay? No clubhouse, bad. Everything's bad because it was abandoned. Well, that's what's going to happen to you all in New York. You think you got life a little tough now, and I get it. But the whole idea of it is people are leaving because they're not going to pay taxes, right? Think about history. People left where they went years and years ago when things got rough through storms, through the Dust Bowl, this and that, and they moved to other locations, especially California, the South, and they picked up, and then they went by horse and buggy, trails, railroads, or whatever. Nothing really that great in transportation because it was the early start of it. But they moved, right? History doesn't change. So like my great friend says here, my great brother, you're going to give something out for people for 40% off. Now we're going to go over to Joe because we know Joe's got a ton of money. But and Joe's not going to say, well, I can't afford to buy everybody's food. They got to do it because I'll teach them how to buy food. I'll show them how to work. I'll do this, but I can't support that. So Joe says, I'm going down to this beautiful state in Florida where I'm going to be welcomed. And guess what? I'll just close my stuff up, sell the building,
head south,
and go. And guess what? The operations are 40% favorable. Understand? Favorable to the owners. And now you got a big void. You got no food at the store because nobody can afford the 30%. Then you got no job to go buy food somewhere where there's free markets and good cost. And then there's no upper hand in governance because they want to get rid of the police, ICE, and no law enforcement. And then you're going to have your chaos. Then innocent people are going to be like people that are getting shot and killed that are trying to live a good life. So like we could spell out the future for you, but you got that you got the ability to not have that by just saying to yourself, oh my God, what was I thinking? Look what people did for this great nation to exist. I'm living. We're gonna die, all die someday. We might as well have a good life while we're here. So stop buying this people's bull crap because they want their own power and control of your life. They want control of your sexuality. Not only that, they want to control your kids' sexuality. So it's coming in a voter's box or it'll be on the street. You mark my words. That's the foundation of our nation. And we got better in the voter box and we got better in the court system. Before, everything was settled in the streets. But as time went on and our government improved and treaties were made, peace was made and everything, we have a couple different avenues before it gets to the street. But something's going to happen. I'm spot on with my feelings, and I'm spot on at this point of time. And you have the ability to stop it. You have ability to have a great life, and you have ability to put these roadblocks up and become a good human being. James Caravel, I applaud you so much. I really don't care for your style and your antics, and I'm a Democrat. I'll tell everybody that. I don't care. I've been a lifelong Democrat.
I've been a lifelong Republican.
I know, and it's true.
Well, we're common ground.
We're common ground, and I voted for plenty of presidents. I told his story before. My father almost booted me out of the house because I voted for Ronald Reagan. I said, Dad, look, man, sometimes you got to look at the bigger picture, okay? I was put out of work for 18 months, but guess what? Communism fell.
Yeah.
I lived. I found a way to live, make money, and it was better for the nation. When men and women go off to sacrifice their lives and in foxholes, what do you think they're doing? Huh? So we can't do something back home? We can't do something here to show America how great you are? That's right.
One of the things that the government that they want you to do,
Sacrifice.
they want you to be complicit, and they want you to be numb and dumb and in your home. So they want to give you every opportunity. And with the advent of the internet and social media and technologies today, you can sit home, you can gamble your life away, you can FanDuel it, or you can DraftKings it, or pick one, you can MGM it. You can sit there and get yourself stoned, drunk, or any other kind of inebriated, kind of emotional way that you want to be, state of mind. And you can sit there and watch TV. And when you're hungry, you can order DoorDash. So you can stay in your home 24/7, not be with anybody. And who cares what the government does, because you're happy, because you may have enough funds that you qualify for something from government, like lifelong, what do you call it, lifetime income that they want to present. And these are things that you just start to give away. Profiled and looked at and questioned and all that stuff. So think about what the government actually wants you to be. They want you to be the stupid a-hole. So
There's
that they
a certain
can,
part of government, not today's government.
Today's government. Look, today's government.
I don't buy that.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
That's a government under the Fauci.
Listen,
look,
the
New World government.
Well, yeah. Okay, so that's what
they want.
That's their vision.
That's
they want
why,
all control.
Yeah, but not in that executive branch. That executive branch doesn't breed one thing about that.
Not the one that's in now.
I don't believe Mike Johnson, all them.
No,
I don't believe that.
Not now. But that's what
that's the government of Fauci.
That is what's coming to America if we're not careful.
I just want to get that clarified.
All right.
Right.
But there are people in our government right now, through states, whatever, that wish nothing more than to have the control of the mind, body, and spirit.
That's the deep state. And
that's the deep state, yeah.
So Fauci is the first fish on the hook of the deep state.
Maybe.
So I really believe this. So the president, even way before he became president, was always talked about like a third government, the deep state. Look, and then when he got into power, look what they did to him. Look what they did to his family. Donald Trump, he showed up in Fulton County Prison to take a mugshot from somebody that was trying to converse and put him in jail while they were planted it down there on Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, that's a treason thing right there. It's all bad. So these people here, that man has beaten everything, lived through bullets, because God wanted him to lead this nation in this time. There's not a doubt in my mind. And you're hearing that from a Democrat, okay? Mm-hmm. So this form of government, now that form of government with Fauci and that, so on the cornerstone of the Denver airport, right? I'm a controversial person, or a conspiracy.
You're not controversial.
A conspiracy theory person. So no. That Denver airport was made, and there's a cornerstone for the New World. What's the New World? The New World is what Christopher Columbus discovered, and we were the New World, right? Mm-hmm. The Western Hemisphere. Okay, so what New World are they talking about? So we got this guy Fauci now that's taken the Fifth Amendment 111 times, asking questions. He was the #1 public health guy, doctor, scientist, whatever you want to say in the nation, and now brought down to his knees by the judicial or the legislative branch of this nation. And here's a guy pleading the Fifth. Why is he pleading the Fifth? He is a connectivity to this world that we need to be exposed, right? Just like the Jerry Epstein thing with all that pedophilia that was going on and the pizza parlors and all that. I think that broke up and was exposed, and he found hanging in his jail cell, and that kind of, those people, they might have went away and started camp somewhere else and did something else. But you're absolutely right. That's the government that they want. This unknown thing that we no-see-ums, like down in Florida when you're swimming in a pool, these bugs come and bite the crap out of you. We call them no-see-ums. Well, that's what this government's like. No-see-em. We don't know. We don't see them. We don't understand this. But we know by these conversations that are being child mutilation, no borders, no police, free prisons, all that. So you look at it, who's driving that? Who wants that? Why are they doing this? because it's like the government are talking about. So you be a pawn. You be like people in Russia. You be like people like China. They want this land to do this now. Who has these ideas?
Imagine if they get their hands on this country.
Fauci needs to be, I'm telling you right now, Fauci needs to have some type of things because he knows. Dr. Anthony Fauci knows what can help this universe out. And I'm making a plea to you, Fauci, right here. Whether you listen, anybody listen, I don't give a shit. But the only thing that might redeem your soul to God Almighty, because you got eternal life, you're a Catholic, a big disgrace to Catholicism, big disgrace. And you're hearing it from somebody who could call you a big freaking disgrace. And then you can hear somebody, the Italian culture, could call you a disgrace to the Italian culture. And everything the great Italians of this nation did, you tore it all down. But you can have maybe one little redeeming factor for God Almighty. Bear your soul clean. Bear your soul clean of who and why and everybody involved. And let good, honest people clean up your nasty mess that you created. And maybe God might spare your soul, pal. Maybe.
I just like to hear the truth. What disappointed me the most was, he's got a look,
baby. Take a look.
He's got a pardon. And that gets him out of some things and not everything. But
well, why did he get a pardon? He got a pardon through the audit pen. You think Mr. Biden could have he didn't even know where he was at that day. Look at him. He was look. But the guy's
he got the pardon without having anything against him at the time
because he had to go somebody because the state. This is what we're saying.
I know.
We got the auto pen. We got the electronic. Okay, Fauci's going to get rung up. We know it's coming.
Right.
We got the years counted. People, the leaks are out.
So
people are talking. So we got to help out Fauci. We got to know who these people are, doctor. You can do it, pal.
Yeah, that's
Bear
what I'm
your
saying.
soul clean because you're the big fish right now.
Right.
Stopping you from getting your hands on you. Okay, that's what mankind's doing. But you ain't got to worry about us. You got to worry about God. And you're a Catholic, and you know that. And you're hearing it from another Catholic. And worse than that, you're hearing from an Italian-American Catholic. So you're a disgrace to everything you get up in the morning for. So just one little bit for your eternal soul. Bare your soul to people that can clean up your filthy frickin' mess, you despicable human being. I've been saying it for 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, I said
I
can smell a rat right away. That's my gift of God, right? Montana can read offense, defenses, and throw bombs. I can read people from spot on. And that guy, and when I was getting some of his bull crap emails and this and that, things weren't adding up. And you can ask anybody. It was a big joke. I used to go around saying, so a bat bit a chicken. And they did a study of bats 1,000 square miles. Not one bat had that SR5s or whatever it was. Not one. And they were other scientists other than Americans.
Yeah.
Because there's good people in this world.
Well, we are the Smash Brothers here.
And we're smashing
live
it
on
up.
Facebook and on the 302.fm. So you're listening in. Hey, of course, you're getting all kinds of fire from us here today due to the fact that, one, we had a great round of golf. We had a great time
beautiful.
yesterday with good friends, our friends, Mr. Fran Simeone and also Mr.
Good man.
Charlie Steffen. And it was a great round with 4 dear friends, and we just really hit it up well. We ended the evening over at Dockside Bar on the Inlet, and we saw Charlie and the Cool Tones, which was an excellent band. Charlie, they're older guys like you and me.
And man, they got the pulse. They got the pulse.
They got it. They know what's going on. And so today we decided, you know what? Let's do a live little event here down at the Southern office. So this is what we're doing here. We want to
and stop communism.
It's like communism, socialism, and you don't need
both, bro.
No, and we didn't need to show our ID. Which was another incident that I had. Showing my ID just to dump some lawn grass and stuff like that the other day, and that was kind of surprising because it's kind of new to Delaware, and I understood the reasons why, but I still don't understand why you need a license which they scan, so now they know that you've been at the dump and blah blah blah. Okay, so what?
These are all state things because Pennsylvania, you got to swipe your card, get a 6-pack of beer or alcohol, whatever.
Isn't that?
They put it in a little machine.
Right.
I said, what?
There's your liberties. That's the start.
This is what
all
I'm
that stuff.
saying with this digital age and
Yeah, the
everything.
digital age, yeah. Next, they'll be trying to tell you that you swipe your card. Oh, you can't buy that because you don't have excess of a couple $100,000 in your bank account or something like that. Digital money, and you owe this bill, and so therefore you can't buy beer. Like if you are behind on your water bill, they would have the right to decline your purchase. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but that's what digital currency will do if government is to accept that and control it. And again, that's another sign of communism, socialism. But yeah, it's kind of nuts. But before we go any further, we want to go over some sponsors that we want to be grateful for. One of them, I'll say AC Capital. You can get painting, contracting by Michael Jr., Michael Unknown Jr., doing some fantastic work. He is on the upswing. He has personally painted my properties, and he does a great job, him and his crew. So hats off to Mike and Unknown Capital for helping support the Smash Brothers podcast.
Yeah,
So,
he supports it. Yes, he does. He's a beauty out there. I swear to God, he is, and he does good work. And like you said, he's going to give you a straight answer. People that he uses, works with them, and the contractors, subcontractors, and people making referrals, and that's what we're trying to do. You go to Buckley's Auto Care, and you get your car service A to Z in a community. Some business that's been given since 1966, giving back to the community, and raising elevations for driving well, road safety, car. Smash Brother, when things were going bad with these warranties on, he took a stand on it and was a loud voice for that, and got a lot of things changed around with that. See, that's what I'm saying. Average people doing big things, and it's just a part of living. You don't look for money. You don't look for accolades. You look like you're for somebody to say, "Hey, I'm in the auto business, and I'm just tired of seeing these claims get denied. These people getting sold a bunch of goods, getting screwed, paying a high premium, where they could just pay the bill outright and fix it and be done with it." Yeah,
it's a lot easier that way.
So you got good people that are doing good work in the communities and just trying to make a living. And just all part of what America is about, man.
Well, let's talk about the possible new sponsor we could be having coming on, David Ogden of William and Harry Golf Shoes.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
If you look up, I believe it's WilliamandHarryGolf.com.
Yes.
You'll see some very, very special golf shoe spikes in ostrich and snakeskin, with an orthopedic fit to them. Now, we were fortunate enough to talk to David Ogden this past week and get to know him. And he's coming up with a great program. We hope to have him on the show at some point.
Yes, whether it's a phone in or
whatever.
Yeah,
and
you could do that.
He's going to describe his campaign to have like a college alumni shoe, custom made, custom designed with the logo of the school, of the college on the shoe. We've seen some examples. We saw one for the actual Blue Hen.
And it's all approved. It's online. The portal's there. Matter of fact, you can order, you University of Delaware alum, fans, students. You'll be supporting your school back. Some of the proceeds go right back into the department for sports and the programs. And it's just a great shoe. And it's coming out, I believe, at a $290 price. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah. With proceeds going back to the University of Delaware.
Yeah. So and it's a great shoe. And you can get it. You just said his website, right?
Yeah, WilliamandHarryGolf.com.
And the portal's on there, and the shoe. It's all the University of Delaware colors. It's great. The Blue Hen swinging the club. So. Yeah. We got the mascot there. He's got it, I should say. And they had the big kickoff Monday, July 27th. At Fieldstone.
Yeah.
So that's all publicized. So order your shoes. And like I said, help out the UOD. And there's other golf apparel on his website that you might be interested in. And like I said, I'd like to get David on the show. He's a real good guy. A lot of things going on in his world and what he's doing for community awareness and fundraising. And I met it through one of his fundraiser trips in Pinehurst, and just a great guy to get to know at this point in time again, and doing good things in the community and raising funds and for programs and things like that. And their organizations are very cost efficient and very thrifty.
Yeah.
And it's just like all these other great programs here in America. So
he's got. Not only does he have the shoes, he actually has dog den promotions where he will fundraise, and his Pinehurst home is the award. So you can bid on a week of golf in Pinehurst through Dog Den, or anybody wants to hire that as a promotional item.
at your golf events.
That's your golf events,
yes.
yeah.
And that's how we got linked up.
That's how we got linked up
through
with
Ed
him.
and
Yeah,
Ronnie.
right.
Did it.
So he's
On
got
an
that
auction.
going on, and you get right there on Pinehurst. So he does very well with that, and it's he's got his reasons for it. And like I said, we hope to have him on. He can tell. He'll tell you all about
his
it.
story.
He'll tell his story.
We're just it's just like a little prelude, a warm up,
Yeah.
and once you get here, David talking his stories, and he's a heck of a golfer, heck of a athlete. He had a great internship with Rolly. With Villanova.
Roy Massimino.
Yeah. So he was
through all that.
Yep. So he'll tell you all that story and all that. So you got a
He's
lot
animated.
you got a lot to look forward to.
He's more animated than you, I think, there, Smash Brothers.
Well, it can be, but
Hey, then let's not forget. Hey, listen, Monday, August 10th, Smash Brothers are going to be live playing in the Newark Rotary annual golf outing there at Newark Country Club.
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Searles, Bill Searles, Ted Wolfer, Smash Brother 1 and 2 are going to be there teeing off. The people at Newark Rotary, this is I think it's my seventh time working with the Newark Rotary on these events. And they're special people. They really do. They do so much for the community. The Rotary itself is built on servitude. So the Newark Rotary does a great job, and this golf outing is always a lot of fun. Greg Warren usually leads the pack in getting it together, and he's a great guy himself. It's a great luncheon. So if you're out there, I think you can go to Newark Rotary and sign up. But there might be some foursomes left, but we're going to be there having some fun, getting to know some people, more people, and helping support the Rotary. So that's the other event.
That's awesome. Very nice. And then you want to give a shout out to the walk here in Dewey Beach tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow. God, jeez, man. I totally forgot. I apologize. Ryan Kennedy.
Hey, Ryan, a good man out there, buddy.
Yeah, Ryan, great guy.
Great guy.
It's the Dewey,
Always puts a smile on my
the
face,
Dewey
I
walk. Yeah, we're birthday brothers, man. That's
know.
we're 20 years apart. He's a junior, of course. But yeah, he's as part of Sam's Kids. The foundation ran by TJ Hanna. Ryan is having the annual Dewey Fun Run, which starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock, goes till about 10-ish, 11. But there's always a good time. A wonderful event that Ryan does so well with. They raise a lot of funds, and that complements their efforts with the Coats for Kids in the fall. And also, I'm going to break some news. I think it could be semi-public, I guess. I don't know. But there is a third thing coming for the Sam's Kids Foundation, and that's shoes to fit. There's Coats for Kids, and these are shoes to fit. And they will be helping to raise money for shoes for impoverished kids of all ages. So be on the lookout for that, or stay tuned for that.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So
yeah.
the school children will get a nice winter coat and some new shoes.
Pair of shoes.
Man, God bless you. Sign me up for all that. Sign me off for that, man.
AC Capital will be there soon. Buckley.
Oh yeah. We were there. It was so cool when we did it. That Mike just got AC1, and it was all looking good. And it was
did
good.
That parade.
That parade. It was awesome. But to see these school kids, happy. There's nothing like getting. We talked about this years ago. Getting a winter coat.
Oh yeah.
It was always a good. It's just a great thing. You got a winter coat, man. New winter coat. and like the ones that we would pass them down
Right.
to other kids. One of them had. I won't get into that story. I should. I'll let that one go. Well, it'll be like the fish I let go in Alaska. So I'll let that one go. But anyways,
we got a lot going on.
We got a lot going on.
And I tell you what, we got to get going because we got crabs and beer this afternoon.
Smash Roll, how much long we got?
We're already in for an hour and 10.
Hour and 10? Well,
hour and 10.
Well, let's talk about, we talked about the future. We talked about upcoming events, golf trips, this and that. Talked about beer and crabs. Let's talk about our smashettes a little bit.
Yeah.
What's going on, and how great of a grandparents they are, grandmas. I mean, I can't say enough. Marguerite and I, we just spent 2 weeks together. It was, I told her that's the most time we spent together, and she agreed. So she was on bed rest with Michael and Maria, twins, in the oven. And it was just, we've been away 4 days. She was down the beach, Myrtle Beach, right. And they had another trip planned, and I went with her for 4 days. It seemed like a year. I missed her so much. So, God bless our wives, man. They're great ladies. We talked about that on the way down to Glen Riddle this morning.
They keep the Smash Brothers in check. Trust us.
They do. They do. The Smashettes are just two wonderful women.
They're too funny.
And I can't wait for them to get together. Matter of fact, you couldn't wait to get together. And first thing they started talking about was the beautiful flowers all around here. Patty's just one of the most decorators and best home decorators, decor. And for parties, let me tell you something. Patty's helped out so much at Maria's parties and showers.
Her
decoration skill. That's it, man. They could get into grandma's decorations or something like that. Just some kind of cool thing.
They could.
We'd have the capital to let them do it,
put
it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I told them many times, I'll back you.
And guess what? They might even have a little Michael's warehouse. Right? They could go. Michael just got a nice new warehouse. Congratulations, Michael. Congratulations. Excellent. And they just do. We're very blessed with our. Your granddaughter Hannah, George, our grandson. It's just so special to see their, care and how supportive they are for their daughters and their daughters' families. Mm-hmm. I mean. Where else would you want to be without not having Smashette 1, Smashette 2 in your corner? I don't know anywhere else. It might be a little hard, and that's good.
We need that. We need it. We gotta have it.
We gotta have like a baseball bat. So I go.
God knows how we would be if they weren't with us.
I'd be dead.
Yeah,
I'd have none of this. There ain't a doubt in my mind.
It'd be every night at Docksides.
If I was there. I think back when we weren't married. God cruising these streets of Sussex County and all our fun activities.
Yeah.
And these are all good things. Two guys, they came to beaches, seashores. You get with nature, man. The only thing that's going to give good lives is two things, God and nature. And they're one in one. And when you start loving God, you start loving this land, you start loving people of his creation, it will have things toned down a little bit, and we'll have wanting people live good and clean and earn money and be in a great society where you're free from everything that you can think of because you're independent and nobody controls you. And that's all we want. Have a great life.
Yeah, man. So
we'll end on that note. Great life for everybody. Today, my first beer is for great life.
There you go. and as always,
thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more here for the Smash Bros on 302.fm here on the Smash Brothers podcast. You can always get it at Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon, wherever you want to download it at, or just listen to us all the time. Repeats available on 302.fm during the day, night, and evening. Thanks to all our sponsors who come on board. And, of course, as always, thanks very much, and God bless America.
Very nice job, SB1. Peace and love out there. Peace and love.